Virginia, why in the hell did we open?
I don't know. I'm trying my hardest. I don't know. I'm unprepared. I don't know the menu. I don't know the times. It's just...
24 hours
I know. I'm screwing up.
to prepare this.
Blackhawk Rescue Mission 5, baby. Everyone's main mojo tactical-ish shooter. What a baller. Top 10 Arma at home helicopter death glitch moment of all time game. Fuck's sakes. Alright, baby, let me start off with, like, my main gripe, like, this thing kills me the most, is the UI is, like, mental tuberculosis squared, dude. Like, instead of that baller graph thing they had on, like, the right before, now I have to be my own fucking archaeologist to find the fast app in this giant behemoth of a scroll menu. Okay, not to mention, the new gun display stat thingy for the, guns is literally like reading hieroglyphics. Like, is this thing good? Is it bad? What about general stats? You know, something that was down to an absolute T. You know, with the last version's UI. Which is now confusing as ever. Okay, and a little sick thing I found out is that, like, if you're fiddling with the handguard thingy, it's probably for other things, but handguard specifically, and then, you know, you check out the other one, and then, you know, you swap back because the other one looks retarded as hell. All of your stuff transcends time and space and just disappears, leaving your urchin body to scroll through the US Constitution of a fucking menu system to re-equip them. Okie dokies. Next on this list is Customization. Okay, so I understand that the different camos and cosmetic things will be added, hopefully before this video comes out, so I'm not called outdated. And yeah, not releasing your big update with, like, all your cosmetics is pretty half-baked, dude. But I do gotta say, I'm actually pretty impressed with the details you can pour into your guy. Like, you can straight up adjust what's in what's pouch, even, like, slide your mags around on your vest. I mean, that effort that they poured into this is something I can really appreciate. Like, the attention... the attention... Fuck. The attention to detail is just so juicy, except for the UI you gotta use to fiddle with your stuff. But, I mean, yeah. And this is like a little small side note tangent thingy, but, can we get more skin color options for, like, white dudes? Like, you're either fucking rickets or you're pink. Like, there's no in between. Okay, now here's a biggie I'm also annoyed about is, A, removing stars, and B, Daddy's 810 Warthog. In this update, you can kind of see where the devs copied some other game's homework, like the rank system, for instance, from, like, COD or something, you know, input here. And, other things I'll get into later in the video. But, I mean, the main thing that's annoying about this is that, like, stars have always been a staple of the game, dude. Like, back when I first started playing on, like, the map with, like, the dock thingy before the dock on the last map, and there's, like, a little fucking tunnel you have to crawl through or something. I don't know. It was in, like, 2019. Your social status literally depended on how many stars you had. And it was such an elegant system. And I mean, you always felt so accomplished when you got them, and they really signified, like, the arrival of cool shit, like Helis and Strikers and stuff. Which brings me to the removal of the A10. The A10 was like your mark of godhood, dude. It meant you had grinded hard and long to raise the cash to buy it. But, I mean, now it's gone, and I really don't see what a person would genuinely spend time grinding for in the endgame. Like, all guns, all cosmetics. I mean, like, the feeling of, wow, I have a shoddy I'm never gonna use. Versus the manly urge of, I own an 810 Warthog, I'm now the server's dead. Is, like, so real. Okay, next on this very epic list is ping and animations. Annoyingly, playing public servers in this game is literally like playing a turn-based strategy game. Just bear witness to these dudes phasing the reality barrier like some new hellbreed of ping demons. Me personally, I've become immune to it over time. It's always kind of been an issue in Blackhawk, but I mean, it's just cranked up to a new level here. The input delay for things like getting out of vehicles and terrain rendering, which I'll talk about later, is just wow. Now, despite contrary belief, team, there are actually things in this update Pappy likes. Such as the new animations, like climbing up Humvees, going prone, vehicle entries, getting into turrets, you know, etc. Just immersion stuff. There is one design choice I really don't get, and it's that, like, having sliding. Like, I mean, it just seems so out of place in this game. It doesn't really even go far, like fucking Titanfall or something. And it'll probably just gonna end up, like, super annoying if there's an enemy around a corner or something, and you're just sprinting to crouch next to it. Okie dokies. Next thing. I know I sound like an old fart complaining and picking hairs about everything new. But, I mean, this new menu inventory system has me pretty mixed. Okay, so basically, when you hold tab, you get a pop-up wheel, which is, you know, it's like before, which is kind of okay, I guess. But because they removed the mouse and, like, this new system, it just feels really clunky, and I prefer the old one, where you could see your cursor. It was just generally easier to navigate to your stuff. Plus what's extra annoying is they removed your XP and money count from the top right, which I don't know, it's just pretty bizarre to me, dude. But I digressionally digress. Okay, the new inventory system, however, makes me do a big happy baby, alright? I think it's so awesome. We got like a little dash of armor and a sprinkle of realism with like the new mag system, as well as having like your whole ass inventory, and you could, you know, stick as many mags as you want in there. Essentially the gist is, the more stuff you have on you, the heavier you are, which makes you assess what you want to rock into battle. And not only that, you can remove things like your rifle or your helmet and place them in your inventory, which is honestly epic and really opens up stuff for like the RP dudes. It also means you can swap weapons with other gamers or even give each other mags if you have the same gun, which is very nice. I will say though, like, it would honestly be baller for like quality of life in the future if we could set like loadout presets. Because every single time you die, you gotta run over and you gotta grab all your bandages and all your mags. And, it, you know, I imagine it's gonna get soul degrading after a while. Righties. Next one is night vision, which, I mean, it may seem really minute, but, like, I don't know, just depending on how much you use it. But, like, to me, dude, the new night vision just looks super ugly and in your face. Luckily, yours truly, was recording some old footage from a bunker raid a few days before the update dropped, and just gaze upon the night vision difference, dude. And what's weirder is, okay, like, usually double lens nods appear with double circles, right? That's a way of life thing. But this time around, I used, like, a double lens nod thing. Only had one. It's like, fuck your battlefield awareness tunnel vision. Like, I just... Okay, actually, no. Let me make myself clear. I'm not... Okay, like, the greeny stuff, I'm fine with. I can live with it. I can adapt. I can improvise. I can overcome. It's just, like, the big-ass metal bit, bro. It's just... It looks disgusting. And I prefer it when it was, like, shadow before. It's just so in your face. And, daddy no like... But at the same time, a small thing I can respect is they made the quad nods available to buy like regularly with in-game cash. You know, even if it does cost a few organs, so the item doesn't seem so pay-to-winny, which is really nice. I would definitely lower the price of 47k so fucking much, dude. Okie dokie, onto vehicles. First I want to talk about the interface for spawning them. It's actually like really refreshing to be able to see all the mods you run your selected whip. Camos, dum-dee-da, plus being able to slap 2 machine guns onto the side of Chinooks now is baller. As for the interface itself, it really puts out like a breath of fresh air for quality of life among gamers, as well as being able to edit your things once you've bought them, which is just so convenient. I mean, yeah, the repair cost is still AIDS for like a minor little bump against a tree, but we'll get used to it, I think. Probably, maybe, sorta, kinda. Maybe? Okay, but UI aside, next are like the vehicles themselves. Which good and bad things are at play. Okay, so I really do like how you can slap stuff in the back of your Humvee. That was a pretty big, pleasant surprise for me. And the amount of inventory space in that bad boy, and the inventory space I'm sure other ground vehicles have. I would love to see this replicated in the helicopters, as it'd really slap on a new immersion factor. Like being out of ammo, but like running back to your heli, or someone else's with like supplies and mags, which would really be cool. And you know, it'd actually have pilot mains go from being background taxis to heart of the boys instantly. There's some minor things like Humvees having the turn radius of the fucking RMS Titanic, putting on the parking brake every time you want to get out being kind of annoying. But you know, overall it's pretty nice. I can work with it. I just think mainly though it would be better if you could just keybind it like the parking brake or whatever, or you know, like shut off ammunition to the turret, you know, just convenient stuff, because I'm kind of annoyed with the little circle menu, but that's just me, baby. Okie dokie, baby. Here's the big one, Helis, the big bad wolf of this shenanigan update. All right, some people say they like the immersion. Some people say they're impossible to fly. And I'm directly center on the fence about it, while you mortals are focused on the flying. I'm focused on the fact that I can't start up the fucking engine by pressing J anymore. Like, come on, dude. I don't think there's a lot of quick keys for stuff anymore. Like, I'm trying to think. Maybe I'm just too dumb. Maybe it exists for the flashlight or whatever. I just don't see it on the bottom right anymore, and I've spammed all the keys on my board. I know for a fact it doesn't exist for Helis anymore, which is just an absolute American tragedy. Because what I used to do is I'll just like press J and then I'll minimize and then open up a YouTube tab or something. And then tab back in after like 30 seconds to see my engine on before. But I've done that twice and realized I actually have to start it up like through the tab menu, which is really fucking annoying. Okay, but back to the Mike Tyson v Jake Paul or whatever level of controversy in this game, right? Heli controls, okay? On the one hand, you can get around way faster than before, which is something I sorely missed. But, you know, it actively feels like I have to fight the controls to stay up. The little bird has a tendency to veer right if I'm not tapping A, and a bunch of other keys just to keep the thing upright. So, you know, you can kiss type flying goodbye. Landing is like really no easier. You're probably always gonna bounce and drift around when you're trying to land, and you know, here's where the real rub kicks in. I didn't mention it earlier when I was talking about vehicles because the ping is just so ass. The input delay for getting in and out of vehicles is an absolute leprosy fest. Like right here, you can see my phalange going into overdrive, spamming that F key to dive out of the heli and survive. But nah. As well as here with this clip of me trying to get out of my Hummer. It's just really, really annoying, and it's probably gonna get a bunch of dudes butchered. Okie dokies. Next is combat / spotting. So as far as NPC spotting goes, it's really not good. Like in this clip here, I just barely crest the hill, and this dude X-ray visions me through a blade of grass, and it's just like fucking Hawkeyes on payroll, dude. Like, it's just really iffy in general. If you go prone, you're magically invisible to them. You can be in the middle of a dirt road with a light on you and everything, like I am here, and they still won't spot you. One of the key things I loved about the last update, or the last version, if you will, was that at night, hostile NPCs turned into Helen Keller RPers and could only really spot you, you know, if like you did stuff dumb, like you stepped into the light, fired at them, or got like too close to them. And during the day, their visual range was pretty balanced. Like if you tried to parachute into the docks, you got folded like origami before you got anywhere near the ground. You know, versus being smart and doing it at night and they couldn't spot you. But like here, dude, it's just totally absent. Like they can spot you all the same. Like fucking dude's got laser eye or something. Okie dokies. As for the combat, it's okay. I mean, it's how do I put this? It's way harder. You know, and you got the AIs pushing and movement. That stuff got improved, as well as their cover sense. You know, which makes it funner and more challenging to take them on. But, I mean, most of the challenge nowadays just relies on the sudden swarm posted up in any given location. The main difficulty is just trying not to get overwhelmed, which I guess is, you know, it's supposed to encourage team play, which I like. But it really does snip the balls of every Frank Castle wannabe who just wants to farm some cash solo. Alright, so we're nearing the end, and now it's time for audio. Okay, so the main thing I notice here is things like heli engines sounding incredibly muffled when I go into first person, like even in a Little Bird, which has 0 doors. So no noise cancellation, but I don't really care, bro. It's not really San Andreas fault line triggering. You know, as well as the guns sounding like totally different things between first and third person. But, you know, again, I'm just hair picking here. Okie dokies. Bugs. There are a lot of bugs, dude. Mainly due to the slideshow FPS. Okay, the main ones I noticed are input delay and, you know, when you're trying to exit vehicles. Next is drop mags, not altering your bar thingy until you fire. Phasing through the earth, NPCs teleporting, and the terrain not rendering while getting lit up by AA in an unrendered zone. And I totally just almost forgot about this, but I could not like zoom in whatsoever with my M4 with no sights on versus when I slapped the sight on it. Me personally, that's what I've noticed through like when I was gathering the clips for this video. But if you guys have noticed anything, my likely 2 fucking viewers, feel free to share it. You know, maybe a representative of the dev team will, you know, be glancing in the comments or something, and then, you know, take notes. But okay, all in all, team, I'm actually I'm pretty mixed about this update. Like, the cons are the heli controls, ping, UI, stars, the A10 getting JFK'd, input delays, personal menu, and, you know, the lack of cosmetics as present on release day. This also just may be a me thing, but like the new base, I mean, it kind of just, like, while it does have like some cool things for RP gamers, it just doesn't really have the charm of the last one, if you guys feel me. Like the vehicle checkpoint, for instance, it just feels downgraded. And, you know, like, as well as the airfield itself, but But again, I did say I was mixed, so there was some juice, there was some life, there was some sustenance in this update, right? Customization, goated, love it. You can get in depth, just fix the UI, dude. And mag system inventories, Like, the potential here is golden. Like, this game could literally be like King Arthur's fucking Excalibur of armors at home. But right now, it's just kind of like a dull sword. But, like, dude, the potential is there. Just, you know, shine it. Do it. So, new inventory system, being able to take off and put on items and potentially do things like share mags with teammates is awesome. I also really like how in-depth you can get with customizing your stuff. Like I said, just being able to shuffle where your mags are on your vest just tickles the nerves in a good way. Having storage in cars adds to the immersion, and I'd like to see it added to Helis in the future. The animations are also pretty sick, as well as the interface for spawning and customizing vehicles. Also, just to, like, you know, like, combat complaints about the UI from, like, older players or whatever, like, such as myself. You could just slap an option in the settings or whatever that, like, turns the cursor back to how it was in the last version, or the UI, or the inventory. It's just, you know, so everyone's pleased with what was, and, you know, the new gamers, the little whippersnappers can use the new stuff. Again, dude, this game could be beautiful. Just gotta shine that sword, baby. Gotta sharpen it. You gotta do your UI fixes. Set that side of stuff though. That I'm done with my moaning session. Maybe this will get better in the future. Like, I hope it will. Sure, cosmetics will be added soon enough. If any dev man sees this, you know, you could take some of this stuff into consideration for Pappy. You know, like stars. A10. Set that stuff aside though. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have an awesome day, and see you around. Bye bye.